Welcome back, everybody. Thank you for joining. We are covering number 22 of 25 inspirational stories to encourage you in your business journey. Again, I want to encourage you to fight off discouragement and apathy and keep plowing away. Before we get started, do me a favor, hit the subscribe button, hit the thumbs up, and hit the alert button so you're notified of future content that's released. And again, I'm hoping that you find these stories encouraging for you in your business journey. That's really what it's about. I'm in it with you and haven't had a new subscriber. We went, and since the series started, from 6 subscribers to 7 and to 8. So thank you. Appreciate it very much. And welcome, and hope you're getting something from this as well. So I do appreciate it, and I'm glad you're a part of this community that's hopefully growing. All right, so we're covering Reginald Lewis this week, number 22. And he's a great story. And I'm going to, again, do a book series of 25 business books that I think are essential for you to read. And it'll be a culmination of different types of business books, biographies, and research books. But, this is one that will be on that list for sure. And I'll cover that. But this will kind of give you a preview. But Reginald Lewis had quite the amazing career here, and so again, prior to his amazing business success, he basically was a trailblazer in other areas as well. He was recruited to join a top law firm in New York directly out of law school, and just even going through and getting through school was a great story as well. He's also the first person to be accepted into Harvard Law School in its whole full 48-year history at the time. I believe it was back in the 70s or 80s, without even applying. He attended this program in the summer, and they were so impressed with him that they admitted him on the spot without him even applying. So that's also pretty amazing. So some of the things that he faced, though, in his career, in the 60s, 70s, and 80s there, he faced discrimination in law and in law practices with regards to just the number of billable hours he was given compared to his peers who were not Black. And then also his billable hourly rate was diminished as well because of, just him being a trailblazer at, one of these top firms. So he obviously was frustrated with that. And that kind of, I think, gave him some fuel as well. But one of the big things that drove him was that he was denied a couple of deals, private equity deals, due to his race alone. And again, his book flushes that out. And again, it's not fair, it's not equitable, if you will. And again, I think that's one of the things that forced him to just double down and dig in and figure out a way to make it happen. Shouldn't be that way, but it was. And so what came of that, though, is that, obviously he didn't let the racism or prior failed deals stop him. And again, as I mentioned, it's fuel for him. And he went on to secure a huge finance deal with the purchase of the McCall's Pattern company. That's when a lot of leverage buyouts were taking place as well. But that put him in a place to where he, that was this first major deal of success, and I think also added to his fuel in a good way. But then he went on to form his own private equity group, which is another great story that's in the book that's detailed out, called the Lewis Company, or TLC. And then from there, he went on to buy Beechers, which was a major conglomerate that had all kinds of different companies, right? If you look at like GE or some of the other major international conglomerates, they own a ton of different subsidiaries in it, but they're all on the books of, GE, right? And sometimes they buy them because it's a cash flow, advantage to them, or tax, advantage to them, or competitive marketed, position to them. And so there's different reasons as these big conglomerates, will make purchases and put those purchases on their books. And Beechers was just one of those back in the 80s, right? And so what that does, sometimes they'll also, by the way, they'll make a purchase for a competitive advantage so their competitors don't have access to that asset, right? So he put together a deal, and the sad thing is that he had to do it, on the down low and not let anybody know who his investors were, which involved family members and a couple of other folks that were also Black, and just because he had to do it that way, because he didn't want that reason alone to derail his drive or his deal here to acquire, Beatrice. And so it was a long, complicated maneuver, but he got it done. And he became the first African American to own a multi-billion-dollar conglomerate. And then he also authored his biography. And again, as I mentioned, is a must-read, and it's Why Should White Guys Have All the Fun? So that's going to do it for this one. Again, I hope you are encouraged by these to keep fighting, keep the lights on. And then again, if you haven't listened to the prior videos as well, I encourage you. I'll leave a link to the playlist in the description below. You can check those out. You should check out the first intro video as well. It discusses the plateau of latent potential and the valley of disappointment, and that's what we're trying to work through. So before we go, do me a favor, hit the subscribe button, hit the thumbs up, hit the alert button, and we will talk to you at our next video.